pay it in full and
Yes.
not bond out?
Well, pay it in full is still a bond, okay? A bond is just nothing more than the idea that it's a promise to appear, secured by something of value. And so the word bail, the word bond, they're really pretty much interchangeable. But yes, a judge can say, instead of allowing somebody to post $2,500 on a $25,000 bond, a judge could say it has to be $25,000. Absolutely. And so in that instance, we go back to the bail bondsman. The bail bondsman is then putting up $25,000, and the bail bondsman wants $2,500 up front from the defendant.
They just do. They can't pay for that, does that mean they just stay in jail?
Means they stay in jail. Yep. Until trial.
Okay.
So let's go back again now to the Constitution, that document that seems to drive everything here. And in the Constitution is a guarantee of speedy trial. The idea that defendants should not languish in jail forever. Who here read about the fellow who got arrested in Arizona and then sat in solitary confinement for 2 years without anybody knowing that he was there? Been arrested on a drunk driving charge.
Is that Arapahoe County?
Somewhere in Arizona. We'll make no statements. But he had had some mental health issues. They placed him in solitary, and they forgot about him. Literally forgot about him. And you would see, and he had a lawyer pretty quickly when he got out of prison, and the lawyer did a really good job because he had a photograph of this fellow when he got out who looked like Rip Van Winkle, and photo of when he had gone in. He was clean shaven, and his teeth were bad, and it was $15 million later. Okay, that's why we know about that case, because a jury gave him $15 million as a result of being tucked away in a jail cell for 2 years. So the Constitution says you get arrested, you have the right to a speedy trial. In Minnesota, that means that you have a right to have a trial within X number of days. And I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what those days are, but it's within 2 months, approximately. And so to answer the question, you don't post the bond. What does that mean? Well, that means at least you have the right to appear in court, have some determination of whether you're guilty or not. I will also tell you this, and statistically, the vast majority of people who are arrested statistically are guilty of the crime that they're charged with. And the statistics have been as high as 90%. I mean, I don't want to cite a specific statistic, but I'm going to tell you that
in Austin, Texas, we have a lot of food trucks. And people wonder, what's involved in having a food truck, especially related, say, to insurance. Well, a food truck is a business. And it's also, a vehicle. So you need to have 2 types of insurance if you have a food truck. Whoever owns the land where you park your food truck is going to want you to have a good business owner's policy. Now, business owner's policy has a lot of optional coverages that you can get, but the 2 main coverages that you want to be concerned about if you have a food truck is going to be your liability coverage and your personal property coverage, or your business property. Now, your business property is kind of obvious, anything inside the truck that is loose, your utensils, maybe you got a TV or some fancy screen or something like that. But anything, related to the business, that would be covered on your business policy, and that would be your property. Now, your liability coverage on your business policy is going to cover your liability if somebody slips and falls, if somebody, say, gets food poisoning from some bad food, and they say that you're responsible for their injuries, they have to go to the hospital or whatever else. So your liability coverage covers you really if you get sued, if somebody holds you responsible for their damages or their injuries. Now, if you're parking on your own property, you still should have business liability coverage, because think about it, it would just take one lawsuit that could totally put you out of business. Also could hurt your brand, you know. Of course, insurance can't really protect you from somebody trying to hurt your brand, but it does protect you financially, because if somebody sues you and they say that you're responsible for their injuries, they can put you out of business if you don't have good insurance. So whether you're parked on somebody else's property, you're parked on your own property, you still should have a business policy that covers your business liability and also your business property. Lastly, something people don't always think about, if you have a business, it's really important that you have commercial auto insurance, especially if you're like moving, say, the food truck to a different location, because your personal auto insurance is supposed to be used for personal use, not for business use. And if you look at your auto policy, in the exclusions, it will say, you know, this vehicle is used for personal use, not for business use. If you're using your vehicle for business use, you do need to have a commercial auto policy. And the good thing about commercial auto insurance, it's not always more expensive than personal auto insurance. So you should definitely get it and get a quote for it. And it usually offers you higher liability limits, which also protects your business. Well, if you have any questions about, you know, food truck insurance or any other kind of business insurance, just shoot me an email or go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, and I'd be happy to answer your questions in a future video. You can also give me a call. Thanks.